C# part-time. This is our class, CP05 2023. And today we are going to hear from Brian Schedule. We're going to talk about his fully functioning bread sales application as well as his video game development website. I've seen this capstone be presented several times, and I think it just keeps getting better every time, which means that today you get the best version of this presentation. And I am so excited to introduce Brian Schedule. Brian.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Thank you, India. All right, let's get started here. So again, I'm Brian Schedule. Did the C# full stack course here at Claim. Let's get into it here. Want to go over a little bit of my journey so far and kind of a little bit of my background. Back in the day, joined the Air Force, needed to get college paid for, so served a little bit, worked on search and rescue helicopters, had a good time, but definitely didn't want to do that for the rest of my career. So as soon as I got out, I had a passion for video games as a young man. Always enjoyed that. So I packed my bags and moved to California in 2013. When I was there, I decided to go to San Jose State, decided to get my degree in business administration with a concentration in marketing and try to, do video game advertising. Luckily, at the end of that, university stewardship, I was able to land a internship at PlayStation, which that really was the moment where I was like, oh yeah, this is really cool. This is an industry I want to be in. So had a really good time there. Shortly after graduation, I worked in the tech industry, working in the email marketing space, and then luckily landed a job at Riot Games. That's where I work today. This is their OG logo. I started there as a player growth associate and was doing like CRM things, doing a little bit of paid media, kind of all things related to growth, and just having a really great time. As my career continued on at Riot, I noticed that I needed to develop some more technical skills in order to measure the effectiveness of my marketing campaigns. So I did my first coding boot camp with the Trilogy Education Services, and that focused on data analytics, taught me skills in SQL and Python. And basically with those, I was able to take those back to my work and like measure the effectiveness of these marketing campaigns I was putting out. So that was really the moment where I started to kind of enjoy coding and see, how it could help me out as a professional person. Fast forward to today, or last year per se, was looking at, getting back into coding and taking another course. And I had this passion for, the game industry and game development. And I was looking for a program that was specifically in C# because one of the game engines I was looking to develop in needed, was in C#. So I saw this program at Claim Academy, saw it was in person. I really needed that to force myself to be a good student, and took it up in last November. In addition, over the winter break last year, I also, coupled my Claim Academy program with diving into a little bit of Unity, where they had an educational free pathway which reinforced my C# skills. So I got the Unity Junior Programmer course accreditation there as well. So today I stand in front of you as what I would classify myself as a professional marketer and developer with a passion for the games industry. So with all that background, what are we looking to solve today? What kind of application are we going to build? What is the problem that we're solving here? Well, that can be answered with one image. That is this image right here. Does anyone know what this is here? Any hands? India.
Bread.
Well, let me get a little more specific. This is sourdough bread. And this is exactly what my brother sells at farmers markets during the summer here in St. Louis. And he's only, selling a couple pieces time to time. What we want to do is build him an application that will allow him to stack that bread. Okay, so this bread sales application is going to need to do a couple of things. Let's go over that. One, it's going to need to reflect his brand, which is the Crooked Door Bakery. He's built an Instagram and, has his own like marketing style. So we need to reflect that in the website. He needs to be able to update the menu if he changes his bread from sourdough to maybe wheat bread. In addition, we have to have legitimate credit card processing. And finally, the ability to manage items in a cart. If someone wants to add multiple items, they can do so. If they want to remove them, they need to be able to do so as well. So let's fire up this application here. As you can see right away, we've integrated with the Instagram API. Basically got my various keys to connect to this service. We adjusted the API to basically present in a 3x4 fashion, which is a different display than what you would get on your mobile phone. And this is really cool because whenever he updates his Instagram, he'll just always have, an updated homepage. And the functionality works here. So if they want to dive deeper into his profile, they can do so and figure out what he, is all about. So I'm going to go ahead and log in as a customer, Greg Oden here. We're going to go ahead and purchase some bread. So I've gone to the menu here. There's an option for single plus pastry, and then the top tier option, double plus pastry. I'm going to go ahead and select the entry level selection. I'm going to add that to my cart. But, if I want to continue shopping, I'm, extra hungry, or maybe I've got someone else that I need to purchase for, I can go ahead and do that. Add the second tier option. So folks can, personalize their cart here and really get what they want. In addition, if, maybe that was too much food, they can remove it. And let's say he just, wants the single loaf. So what we've got here is we're in test mode. So this hopefully isn't going to charge me. And this is our integration with the Stripe API, which will allow legitimate credit card processing. So he can truly, set his bank account to be here and get paid through this API. One thing to call out is when we were building this application, the out of the box API only allowed you to do like one-time purchases. So it'd be like $12.99, here's your piece of bread. The difficult thing that we looked through the documentation for was how to adjust that API and get it to be subscription-based. So we altered that so that all of these options basically charge the individual who signs up month over month. So we really had to deep dive into the documentation to alter that and build out like multiple profiles for each customer, as well as certain keys that I'll show you later in the application to do this. So I'm hitting subscribe, it's processing, and it successfully processed and charged me. I'm taken to the, back to the home page, and that way my brother can do like easy transactions through this website in the future. So I'm gonna log out and then log back in as an administrator. So in this situation, if you remember, I noted that he would need to have the ability to update the menu in the future. So up here in the top right, all administrators get a different flow. So this isn't accessible by like normal customers, but he would be able to go in here and, you know, access all these options. If he wanted to, he could, you know, change the name, change the price. This is the Stripe price ID, which is integral element to the Stripe API. So if he wants to add more options, he can do so, change the description, et cetera, et cetera. I'm not gonna change any of that right now, but one thing I'd also like to call out is through the course, I actually learned how to do this type of operation, which it's generally called CRUD, create, replace, update, and delete. It's done through scaffolding, which is a very quick process that allows me to do some sort of like programming like this in like, I would say 5 to 10 minutes. When really, in order to do this from scratch, you would need to create all the methods such as edit, details, delete, and create new. So that was like a huge learning and a way to quickly speed up development on this website. So yeah, this is the bread sales application, super cool. He's able to host it like right now and use it, you know, at the farmer's market and sell bread with it probably later this year. So really quickly here, we'll get back to the presentation. So a little bit about my background. You're like, oh, Brian, you moved out to California to work on games. Like, why would you make a bread application? Well, as India said, this is 2 apps for the price of 1. And, you know, I do love gaming. So I had to go ahead and do a second capstone course, more aligned with some of my interests. So I built a gaming portfolio application. Some of the requirements for this app would be, it would need to be a little bit more visually appealing because it's in the entertainment space. There's just like a higher bar of quality. So I needed to polish it a little bit more. Users should be able to sign up and subscribe to my game dev journey. That way, like I can take all their emails into my database. And then later when I have updates, games, they can be notified of that and, you know, keep up to date. Also, I would need to have a devlog or blog element. That way I could release little snippets about gameplay mechanics or character development to keep people excited along the way. And then lastly, we would want to have the ability for those who are actually following the journey and want to comment and leave feedback, such as like, you know, we don't like the way this character is being designed, or we want specific levels, things like that, so I can listen to my audience and design it in the manner that they would like. So this is my game development website. This kind of showcases a little bit of the work I did on the side during the course in Unity, but like really bolstered a lot of my C# programming skills. So this first image on the left here, you scroll over it, it provides a little bit more information you know, about each game. So this was a side scroller that I developed. This middle one is an inventory tutorial system. And then the last one is a procedural terrain generation application. So these are some of the highlight projects from, you know, within the Unity game engine, along with the skills I learned in the course. And then, of course, just highlighting a little bit of my technical background here. Claim, of course, the junior programmer certification in Unity, and then that data analytics program that I did quite a few years ago. Lastly, down at the bottom here, I mentioned they, you know, want to subscribe if they, you know, wanted to keep up to date. This little module here is a Bootstrap module. It pops up. I think it's pretty cool because it doesn't take you to another web page. It's a lightweight experience, and people can just input their email and subscribe. You know, I don't need your first name, last name, phone number. should be as easy as possible to stay in tune with how my game development journey will go. Also, the devlog element, this one's a bit more work in progress. This is my devlog page, so this would be my hypothetical first devlog. Not much information here, but we've got the ability to comment here as well, so folks can put that in and submit. If they're commenting and follow along. Also, this bootstrap element down here allows you to subscribe from any part of the web pages. And then lastly, you notice over here on this element, basically, if anyone wants to get in contact with me or follow me on different platforms, they can do so if they would want to check out, my YouTube page and see the videos like I post on there. So that was my gaming website. Wanted to go quickly also over a little bit of tech in both projects. So of course, I used a lot of CSS and HTML styling. In addition, I heavily used ChatGPT to build out some of the templates and formats quickly to see what kind of styles I like, and then take those styles and replicate them over certain pages, saving me a lot of time to not have to, design everything from scratch in those two languages. And then also on the back end, we talked about the Instagram API and the Stripe API, but we also got connected with an artificial intelligence company connected with their API, which had to do with text moderation. So we are we're like 75% done with the comment page, basically having the ability to ping this API and say, before you comment, we're gonna run it past this Eden API and see if you're saying like anything like nasty or like stuff like that. And if you are, then we just won't let you post, because that's something I don't want to manage on my comment page. So a couple of the future upgrades I have, I'm mostly going to be focusing on the gaming website. Needs to be more polished. I'd like to do some educational content, possibly like linking to YouTube, where I would like tell folks how to like design a website, or maybe do like a simple game within Unity. And then of course, eventually I'll hopefully have a Steam integration page to showcase my first game on that website, and that would be super cool. Couple of the next steps I have just for the future of me. My work has like a hackathon every May. I'm not going to be able to probably participate in this one, but as I get my developer chops up more and more, I'm hoping to participate in the one next year. In addition, I'm super interested in procedural elements in game design. So I'm taking a Udemy course on procedural terrain generation, just trying to get more expertise in that space. So if you like what you saw, feel free to stay in contact with me. These are my personal email and work email. You can find me both on LinkedIn and GitHub under vSchedule. And then if you have your phone out and just want to do the QR code method, you can snap that and that'll take you to my LinkedIn. So yeah, that's the end of my presentation. Thank you guys so much for your time. And thank you so much, Clayton Academy. Yeah.